Should a vacation be active or relaxing? This week, take a hike with the girls through the snow-capped mountains of Switzerland. You're listening to Travel FOMO, a podcast for people self-diagnosed with wanderlust.
Hey guys, I'm Hilarie Houghton, and this is my husband, Jamin.
What's up?
And we are Travel FOMO, and if you are a fan of podcasts, then you guys know already how helpful it is for you guys to rate, review, subscribe to our podcast from wherever you're listening. With all of the different algorithms that are in the podcast world, it would really help elevate our show and help people like you find people like us.
That's right. And this week we continue in our secret season where Hilarie and her sister Jessica Giles are reliving their adventures as college students, backpacking across 9 European countries. Today you'll hear about their time in Interlaken, Switzerland, where outdoor activities are the main attraction.
That's right. Let's jump into my interview with my sister Jessica.
Let's listen.
I personally have a really soft place in my heart for Switzerland. We took an overnight train from Italy, and it was a pretty sweet deal. I think it was a legit overnight train where we got to sleep and everything, right, Jessica?
Yeah. It was a good one.
It was a good one. You can get some good ones and you can get some not so good ones. This one was okay. And there was a Swiss woman that we met and an Asian man that were both there in the same cabin with us. And that Swiss lady was really helpful. She was like telling us about the train and the breakfast and the pillows and all the stuff we needed to know. And I don't know about you, but I just remember waking up that morning on that train and the view was just like, I wish I'd waken up earlier. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, for real.
So beautiful. And I don't know if you remember
and
that.
She showed up.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk over each other. Like, didn't she show us where she lived? Like, right, kind of like in this, I want to say it was, I don't know. I'm like, she showed us where she lived, and I can't remember if it was like on like a lake or if it was like right in this little valley of like, I can't remember.
It was on a lake.
Was it on a lake?
Because,
Okay.
Because there was a place where she said you could jump into the water. I don't know if it was a diving board or a deck or what, but you could jump into the water. She said it was really cold, but like people go swimming and it sounds amazing.
That's so cool. It does sound amazing.
And it's
and
so
the
crazy.
weather was like nice there.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. That was what was so
nice.
crazy is that the weather was just awesome. It was gorgeous, and yet you would be looking at snow-capped mountains while you're wearing a tank top and sweating.
Yeah.
Crazy. It was beautiful though. And we went to Interlaken, is the city that we were in, and it was super sporty. Like it was like really sporty and really popular among Americans as a place to visit. And we stayed at a hostel called Bombers. And I don't know if you remember, Jess, but it like the entrance of it looked like you were going down into a subway. And so it kind of looked like you were going underground. I guess most of it was underground. I don't even remember hardly.
Oh man, cool. I just remember being out on the town so much. Did we even hang out inside that hostel very much at all? Because I feel like we got there and we immediately wanted to like get back out and see the city.
It was so great. And partially too, I think because it really was underground, so you couldn't see.
You couldn't see much anyway.
Yeah, you couldn't enjoy this wonderful weather. But I don't know if you remember, but we walked in and we ran into George Sharp from New Jersey, whom we had met in London. And he had just emailed us and said he was in Switzerland, but we didn't know where. And so there's no real expectation of like seeing each other. But lo and behold, we ended up in the same place. And so
same town and same hostel.
Yeah, so crazy. And I think we actually probably had heard the same good things about Interlaken. And so that kind of makes a little bit of sense. Among backpackers, it seems to be a really popular place. And we decided he was on his way out. We were on our way in, and we decided, where are you going to next? And Spain was kind of on everybody's agenda. So we said, okay, we'll see each other in Spain. It's kind of crazy. And I guess we just picked a day and said, we'll go to Spain, and here's the hostel that we'll stay in. And anyway, we'll continue that story once we get to Spain. You can tune into the Spain episode to see what happens with George. But yeah, we went on a hike. We went to chocolate shops, a clock shop. I remember walking by.
Really cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
There are so many things that you don't realize are very Swiss, like a Swiss Army knife. Like you don't realize that stuff until you end up in Switzerland and you're like, oh yeah, like it is all here in great detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I loved it. And people were just so polite. Like nobody was going to run you over in traffic. It was very clean. Even the streets were just really clean. And yeah, we had dinner outside on a patio. That was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good experience.
It was great.
And also Swiss chocolate. Do you remember going to that?
Oh yeah, that was another place that we got chocolate, which I thought was kind of funny because I think I liked the Belgium chocolate better, and I was anticipating. Oh, I bet the Swiss chocolate's really good. But for some reason, I really like the Belgium chocolate a little bit better.
Yeah, and I mean the Swiss chocolate was different. It was like they pour it out flat and then break it into pieces, and you pay for it by weight, which I'd never seen done before. So it's almost like bark. It's kind of interesting. But I think I actually preferred the Swiss chocolate, but I didn't expect it. I think
it darker? I wonder.
I think what we got, maybe we just had a better choice in what we chose. Or
maybe we probably didn't get liquor in it this time. We didn't know about the liquor the last time, and so I think those ones that got liquor in Bruges, we were like, oh okay.
True. And in Switzerland, I think we maybe wiser and knew more about.
We were wiser, older and wiser.
That's true. Oh man,
but we've been here before.
Yeah. I would really like to go back to Switzerland. One thing that I didn't do, that we did do, but I wish we would have done more of was hiking. I thought that was really cool just because it's so, oh my goodness, there's so many options.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. I'm glad that we at least did that little bit though. And we did them in Crocs, people. I mean, we didn't do a lot. It was a simple trail. Went up a little ways, but enough where you could get a little bit better view of everything. And we played the movie quote game the whole walk up, which is always fun.
Oh, we did play the movie quote game. We made it up, guys. Yes, we made up a game and we love it. Our family knows certain movies really, really well, so we can randomly throw out a quote from one of those movies and make sure and try to get somebody else to guess which movie. And we're pretty good at it.
We're pretty good at it, yeah.
Maybe even raised together. I don't know, something like that. That's funny. But
do you remember that
huge water fountain?
Yeah, that was cool and refreshing.
Like a big square. It was almost like a piece of art, and water would come out, and you could stand on it. It would be like 4 or 5 feet tall. You could crawl up on it and walk around on it. And I'll post a picture of Jessica. There's a picture of Jessica that's really cute of her on that. I mean, that's the best way I can say it. It's almost like a splash pad. It's like a huge giant piece of art that also you can stand on and get wet. It's crazy.
But it like stuck up above the ground, right? It wasn't level. It was like 4 feet up. Like, I don't know. I want to say it was like a rectangle. Was it like just this big long rectangular block kind of? But yeah, refreshing.
What was your favorite memory of Switzerland?
I really liked just kind of like seeing the different stuff, but I really did like the walk we went on, the hike. I think that probably was like my favorite. I don't know, because maybe you're just like, I don't know, you're getting to like hang out and talk, and then like you're also getting to kind of soak in and see the view and just like, I don't know, for some reason that's always been my favorite. But yeah,
that was one of my favorites too. And then like, okay, if you were to go back, is there anything you didn't do that you wish you would have?
I didn't do. I wish we would have. They had a lot of activities. I mean, like is it parasailing or parachuting or whatever it is?
Both, maybe.
Like they had people with parachutes in the sky at some point. And I remember thinking, That would be amazing. Like, I've always wanted to do either skydiving or something, or bungee jumping. I don't know if I want to say bungee jumping was available not too far from there. Maybe someone talked about it, like other backpackers had bungee jumped somewhere. But I think, I don't know if there was any kind of like activities like that, which I'm sure there were. We didn't look into them, and I hadn't prepared for that necessarily. But
and it was
probably
expensive.
do something like that.
That kind of
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, yeah, like we tried to stay on budget as best we can, and so I'm like, I've always known that I want to do that, but I hadn't necessarily planned on doing it on this trip,
right?
And so, but yeah,
I totally agree. That was like on my list of like things I wish I would have done, was like some extreme sports, because they had so many options. But then also, I would totally go snow skiing. I've always wanted to go snow skiing in the Alps, and that's where I would do it. And I think you probably still could in the summer.
Every mountain, baby.
Love it. Oh man,
that was a Sound of Music reference. In case you missed the Salzburg
in case you missed the Austria episode, that was too funny.
But yeah, this is one of those places though. I've always wanted to retire somewhere green and sunny. And for a long time, I thought, oh, Ireland, it's so green. And then the more I'm like, no, it's cold. Like, no, not Ireland. And although I've never got to be there, so I'm kind of like making a statement off of no experience. But from what I hear, it's chillier, and it's very, much more north. And but then I did really enjoy Bruges, Belgium. So that is like on the list of like retirement options. But it was also colder, and so it's just enough north that like I don't know if I would enjoy being there forever in retirement. But this, I think I could. I think this is one of those places that would be like at the top of my list of like, I could retire. I love the idea of like mountains and the green and the sun, and just like we have a picture of like that we took, which was really great view, in fact, of like the mountains and like all this little, all the little houses and living at the bottom of these mountains, and with the snow in the far back on the other mountains. And I was just like, yeah, I could like live in that village. Like, I don't care if there's not a Walmart for like 4 hours or whatever. I don't care if I have to travel long distances for something specific. Like, I could retire there.
Yeah, for sure. I've been following a lot of Instagram hashtags that are associated with Switzerland, and I just continue to be like drooling over them, and I cannot wait to go back.
Okay, so something I'm curious about. Talk about the overnight train that you took. What was that like?
Yeah. Actually, it was really cool. It was one of my favorite experiences, quite honestly.
Cool.
It's kind of everything you've seen in the movies, I'm not going to lie. You have like little beds and different places that you can, I can't remember if in this instance we actually had beds or not, but it's really convenient. There's a car where you can go get drinks, cocktails if you wanted. You could get coffee in the morning, kind of like a cafe car, I think or a bar car. And so there's places for you to socialize, meet other people, and then you just get to meet the people that are right there in your specific room, I guess you would say.
Gotcha.
There's probably a term for that, but that was a lot of fun to get to meet the different people that we rode with. I think over the course of the whole trip, I think we did 2 overnight trains, but it was really neat with this one here in Switzerland, and waking up and seeing. It was really great to have a local Swiss woman there with us in the train, where she kind of pointed out her home and really just kind of like enjoyed the scenery with us, which was really great. Like everyone just in our car, like the 4 of us just really relaxed and just enjoyed the view. It was so nice.
That's cool. I've never been to Switzerland, but for everything you hear, everyone's like, you got to take a train and just look out the window.
Yeah, so beautiful. It was really breathtaking. I didn't know how much I would love Switzerland until that moment, probably.
Very good. So the city where you stayed, Interlaken, unless I'm mistaken, that means between two lakes because it's situated between a couple lakes, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha. So you said that it felt really sporty. So what's it mean for a place to be sporty?
Great question. What I meant by that is really just everything that you would want to do in Interlaken was outside. And I personally was thinking of Switzerland as being a cold place where you probably want to go inside and drink hot chocolate. And it was exactly the opposite. It was beautiful. It's a lot like Colorado is in some places where as long as you're out in the sunshine, it's warm. You're going to wear shorts and you could wear flip-flops if you want. I think my sister I have a photo of her standing in a fountain kind of area with flip-flops on and a tank top and shorts and all these snow-capped mountains all around her. And that was really special to just think like how beautiful it could be and how scenic, and yet such great summer weather. And for example, some of the things that people could do there, which we talk a little bit about, you could go skydiving, you could do all kinds of water sports, and most of the year you can go snow skiing, you can go hang gliding, you can go lots of extreme sports. So a lot of people like really looking to do that once in a lifetime thing that they might not would otherwise do. A lot of that was happening there.
I see. So when you guys went hiking, how did that take place? Did you have to take like a car or a bus or someplace to a point to hike from, or did you just set out and hike from the city?
We just started hiking from the city. So it was literally us we just started walking. We probably had a map, I think, if I remember, that kind of showed us where some starting points were. And it's a small enough community that you didn't really need a bus. You could just start walking. And the thing I love about Switzerland, too, is that it is so much about the great outdoors and the beauty of the present day. A lot of places you go to, they're more about cathedrals, right? And indoor art and statues and all that kind of stuff. But this is about more about the outdoor experience. It's about what is happening to you in that moment and the nature around you in that present day.
I see. So once you've been hiking, you've got to replenish. So you guys went to a chocolate shop.
Right.
So tell us about, everyone hears about Swiss chocolate and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And so what was going to a chocolate shop like there?
It was really cool, but it was very different than what I had experienced. The one we went to, they would pour the chocolate out in front of you on big slabs of concrete, and then they would break it up. And so you would basically buy different broken pieces of flat chocolate. And so it was like jagged edges, and so you just have them put these pieces on there, and you would take whatever piece is the size you want, and they would weigh it, and then they would charge you for it. So that was really interesting to walk around with like slabs of chocolate, I guess you could say. And it was, I kind of would compare it to some of the ice cream shops that you can go to now, like Marble Slab Creamery and stuff like that, where they put it, they kind of like mash all your ingredients in there right in front of you, and you see all of it happening right in front of you on a slab. It was kind of like that with chocolate. They had all this chocolate and they're like putting all these interesting things in it and then pouring it out and letting it dry and then breaking it in front of you. So it's kind of interesting.
So you definitely need to go.
Well, yeah, definitely. That was some of my favorite chocolate, and some of the other really cool things around there. I remember going to the chocolate shop, and then right after that hitting up a clock shop where you would see those old
like cuckoo clocks?
Yeah, like old cuckoo clocks.
Gotcha.
Thanks, yeah. And those were amazing. We wanted so bad to to mail one home to my mom, but they were a little pricey. And then, but so authentic, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And then also a Swiss Army knife shop with just all kinds of Swiss Army knives. And that was really, you just really felt like, wow, they encompassed all the things that you've kind of heard of Switzerland. You really kind of got the vibes there.
Yeah. So you, at this point, you had been to Germany, you've been to Austria. People can go back to listen to episodes about those. Yeah. What makes Switzerland's culture unique?
Well, one of the things that stuck out to me is that they are so polite and law-abiding citizens, and I couldn't even put my finger on it until later on when I was looking into the culture, because I just thought, I loved it so much, and kept looking into it and really started finding out that some of the things that made it different were some of the reasons why I loved it so much. So I loved that it felt safe and clean, and pedestrians always get the right of way, and I remember noticing that if I was standing on a sidewalk, the car was not going to go. It was going to wait for me to pass. So I might as well just start walking. And it was very calm, a very calm environment. So I appreciated that as well. But also just safe, clean, polite, kind. Yeah, all of that. I loved it.
Awesome.
Definitely recommend Switzerland.
Gotta go.
Absolutely. You guys, that's a wrap for this episode of the Travel FOMO podcast. Thanks again to my sister, Jessica Giles, for really going back in time with me to recap this trip. It was awesome.
And we want to know your thoughts about today's episode. When you travel, do you prefer to be active and do a lot of stuff, all those extreme sports, once-in-a-lifetime activities, see a lot of things, or do you want to relax and just chill and take it easy? So tell us about it. You can find us at travelfobopodcast.com, or you can tag us with your trip ideas or pictures on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all of those. That's how you can get in contact with us so that we can know what you're up to.
And in next week's episode, my sister and I are going to get our credit card stolen in Spain.
Good times.
Right as we're wrapping up our trip, too. It's crazy. So tune in to get the details. And if you're enjoying the journey that you're going on with us, take some time to rate, review, and subscribe to the Travel FOMO podcast from wherever you are listening. And please don't forget that life is short.
Wander well.